Hello and welcome back to the Cursing Seamstress. I haven't done a video for maybe a week and a half, which is not that bad. I've been very busy sewing, and the last video I did, I'm not quite sure. It seems like I've got two YouTube channels, and I don't know. It seems like the last video got uploaded to the other channel. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but it was about my first quilt. I never thought I would quilt, but I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I did. And since then, I've done more quilts. And so I'll show you the second quilt that I made. I made for myself. And again, all the quilts that I've made so far have been based on Professor Pin Cushions. I think she calls it an easy square quilt, I think is what she says, or box quilt maybe. But you can find it on her YouTube channel. So this is it. My goal is to use up fabric and not buy more fabric. I've already broken that rule just the other day. This measures, each one of these blocks ends up being 8 inches square. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? 6 times 8 is 48, is it? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. That's 72 inches long. So this is absolutely perfect. It's smaller than it would be for a twin size, but this is really the perfect size to use as a throw on a couch. If you just want to, have something over you while you're watching TV or reading a book or whatever. I use it on my bed when, I like to keep my bedroom cool, and so I'll keep the room cool, but make sure I've got plenty of layers of blankets on me. So this absolutely fits perfectly. It covers me up totally. I used, again, all this fabric, most of everything on here. I did buy that piece. The rest of this, I think, was thrifted, or I think most of it actually came from an auction house. The back of it is this light blue, and the light blue is also in here. I did put some yellow. It kind of helps it to pop a little bit, but I love it. And I used up the low pile cotton batting from Walmart. It comes folded over twice so that you get, I guess it's 90 inches, so it's fine. And actually you can sew it together if you ever have to sew batting, and I learned this just, since I started doing these. But if you sew batting together, you don't want to overlap it. You want to put it side by side and run it through your machine with a zigzag stitch, and that's what I did, and it worked very well. Then I thought that I would make a baby quilt, because I personally don't need any more quilts. And my daughter says she doesn't either. The first one was for my grandboys. So I thought I would make a baby boy quilt just because I have lots of blue tones left. And so I did. I used, again, fabric. This I did buy from Walmart quite a while ago. This came from a thrift store. And little bears on here, sailor bears. The back is that same light blue color. And the binding is the dark blue. And this one measures 4 squares by 4 squares. It's really a nice size for a baby. And actually this would probably, work for up to like a 2-year-old or something. So that's that one. And then I thought I would do something a little bit more creative. I made another baby boy quilt. And I say baby boy because it's mostly blue tones. This one, same size as the other one. What I did different on this one, I still used that same blue backing. I still have fabric left of that. I used some yellow. I used some flannel owls that I think I thrifted that too. But what I did different was I had some pretty yellow, and I embroidered a little picture on there. And I used something that's a boat and some fish in the ocean. And I wanted to use something that was not going to be very dense and cause my fabric to shrink up. But actually when I embroidered it not on an 8x8 piece, because I was afraid that it would draw up the fabric and make it not match up with the other squares. So I cut my fabric bigger and then cut it down to the 8x8 once I had the embroidery on there. So I didn't embroider on every square, but here's another square. I put a bunny, and I just put the word sweetheart there, and a little bear, I think, on that one. And that's it. So it's all balanced. The yellow squares, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow squares. There's a solid yellow square with an embroidery on it on each line. So that's that. For the side, for the border and the binding, I just used a lightweight light blue, which coordinates well with the back. So that's just a little bit different with the embroidery included on there. And I think I'll do some more like that. I like doing that. So that's it. The last thing I wanted to show you is I made a dress. Even though I said I wasn't going to buy any more fabric, I did. And what happened was on Facebook in my area, and you probably have it in your area too, there are online yard sale pages for your area. In my area, all the little towns around me have a yard sale site. So, and you subscribe to them, so whenever somebody posts something, you get to see what's there. And the stuff is all very reasonably priced. It's stuff that people really want to get rid of, and if it's overpriced, it will never sell. So actually, I saw something on there, and had seen it maybe a couple of months ago, and I went in and I just did a search for fabric within that yard sale Facebook page, and the thing that I had seen a couple months ago popped back up, and so I sent a message to the person. It was someone I knew, and asked her if she still had it available, and she said she did. So I bought it, and what it was a serger machine. It's a Brother. I could not find another one to see what the selling price would be. Even eBay did not have one, but I don't think it's a very expensive one. I did find a YouTube channel, and I can't remember the number. I didn't write it down to tell you, but it's like a 929D or something like that. But it has, has the differential feed on it. It's got the 4 spools. It's got you can regulate the heaviness of the presser foot. So it's got a lot of nice features. I watched the little YouTube video that I did find. So again, I think maybe it may have cost about $150, $60. But what went with it, this person was selling, was tons of fabric. She sewed for her daughter when she was younger, and so all of that fabric that she had left over, some that she had never cut into, was included. And there is a lot. And I don't have it here. I have one thing that I'll show you, but it's just amazing. So I've been going through it and washing it and seeing what's there. But I did decide to take a little bit of a break from the quilting, and I thought I would make a little girl's dress because most of the fabric is girly, lots of pinks and things. So I found this pattern. I've made this before. It's very cute. It's a Butterick B5876, and the sizes on this are 3, 4, 5, and 6. I cut out a 3. Here's the line art on the back. The one that I chose to make was the one with the empire. It's this one here. It has an empire bodice, and it's just really cute. So I didn't follow all the rules. I was actually kind of lazy, and I was a little bit short on this particular fabric. So, and I actually cut it wrong too. But this is the dress right here. I don't know if you can see the little empire bodice here. The modifications that I made on this, because I didn't have so much fabric, was that instead of cutting out the facing, I just used this double wide pink bias tape, and I used single wide for the armholes. In the back, I don't like those sort of closures where it's just like a keyhole kind of a thing and with a hook. I just don't like those. So I put in a zipper, a little blue zipper. And what else did I do different? So without the facing, I'll just show you the inside, what it looks like. Without the facing, it is, you know, rough here, but I did serge it here, and I top stitched, so this is nice and flat. And the part where I ran out of fabric was on the back. I actually, when I cut the back piece, I cut it too short because when I made this pattern before, I made the version that had the contrasting bottom. So I had cut the bottom off, and then after I cut it, I realized that it was missing the lower half. But I did have enough fabric, and you can kind of see, I'll turn it back. Well, I'll turn it on the inside out part so you can see what I had to do. But I had to cut out this bottom piece, and I had to have a seam in the middle, which lined up with the back seam anyway, and it's fine. And I ended up, I think I top stitched the back too, just to make it look nice. I did, so you really can't tell. This is a real busy print, but that's the back where I did that. And it's cute. This is just gathered right under the empire bodice there, and I like it. So I don't know, I have a cousin who has a granddaughter who is coming up on 2, so I think I'll end up mailing it to her. I don't have any little girls or grandgirls who are that age. So that's it. And I'm cutting out another quilt with some of this fabric that I bought with that serger, and I've got all the squares cut, and what I'll do is and they're just laid out on my floor. What I'll do is I'll insert a photo of how I line them up and what they look like before I start stitching everything together. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in another couple of weeks. Bye-bye.